Hi there, it's Asia, and today's lesson is all about IELTS listening maps. One of the most challenging tasks in this section for most people, me included. I'd like to show you how to solve these tasks. Right now, grab a pen and paper as we'll be practicing together, and let's get started. I've prepared for you two maps today, which are slightly different. The second one is more difficult in my opinion. Let's look at the first map, question by question, and I'll be giving you tips along the way. But first of all, what should you do before the recording starts playing? Well, three things. Read the elements on the map, find the starting point, which is usually the entrance located at the bottom of the map, and read the questions. First, read the title. This is Branley Castle. Let's look at the elements. The main entrance is at the bottom. That's where our tour will most likely start. In the castle, we see south and north gates, several towers, walls, and the Great Hall. The river is at the top, and there are two bridges across the river. Please note that there is a compass in the corner, north, east, south, west. You may hear that something is located in the southeast corner. Then you should know that southeast is the bottom right-hand corner. Now, if you still have some time left, read the questions. Starting point for walking the walls, bow and arrow display, hunting birds display, traditional dancing, and shop. Now, what should you do while the recording is playing? Remember that questions come in order. Follow the question numbers next to the map, not the letters on the map. And cross out used options to clearly see what's left. And cross out incorrect options you hear about. They're not going to be discussed again. Let me explain this point. Have a look at this example. You need to find the library, and you hear. The library is located near the City Hall, but that's not the big building right next to it, as many people think. At this moment, you can cross out option A. You won't hear about it again. It was there to test you. So the recording continues. The library is actually the long building behind the City Hall. So option B is the correct answer. Okay, now using these tips, let's try to find our answers. Ready?
Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Now, if you can take a look at your plans, you'll see Branley Castle has 4 towers joined together by a high wall with the river on 2 sides. Don't miss seeing the Great Hall. That's near the river in the main tower, the biggest one, which was extended and redesigned in the 18th century.
This was a little introduction that took us around the castle. Now look for the answer to question number 16.
If you want to get a good view of the whole castle, you can walk around the walls. The starting point's quite near the main entrance. Walk straight down the path until you get to the south gate, and it's just there. Don't go on to the north gate. There's no way up from there.
Here is what we've heard. If you want to get a good view of the whole castle, you can walk around the walls. Okay, the answer is somewhere here. The starting point's quite near the main entrance. You see, we start from the main entrance. Walk straight down the path, straight down, until you get to the south gate, and it's just there. Okay, so that's it. Please note that straight down means straight. It doesn't mean down. The answer is H, and let's cross it out on the map. Now look for the answer to question number 17.
There'll shortly be a show in which you can see archers displaying their skill with a bow and arrow. The quickest way to get there is to take the first left after the main entrance and follow the path past the bridge. Then you'll see it in front of you at the end.
Let's have a look. There will shortly be a show in which you can see archers displaying their skill in a bow and arrow. You see, it's the same as bow and arrow display. There is no paraphrasing, just the order of words is slightly different. The quickest way to get there is to take the first left after the main entrance. Okay, first left. And follow the path past the bridge. So past the bridge. And you see it in front of you at the end. So here it is. Please note that past the bridge means you pass near the bridge. You don't cross it. The correct answer is D, and option G is a little trap for you.
If you like animals, there's also a display of hunting birds, falcons and eagles and so on. If you go from the main entrance in the direction of the south gate, but turn right before you get there instead of going through it, you'll see it on your right, past the first tower.
The next question is number 18. If you like animals, there is also a display of hunting birds. Okay, that's what we need. If you go from the main entrance in the direction of the south gate, okay, here, but turn right before you get there instead of going through it. So turn right instead of going through it. You see it on your right past the first tower. Here it is. The correct answer is F. Now, question number 19.
At 3 p.m, there's a short performance of traditional dancing on the outdoor stage. That's right at the other side of the castle from the entrance and over the bridge. It's about 10 minutes walk or so.
There is a short performance of traditional dancing on the outdoor stage. That's right at the other side of the castle from the entrance. Other side, okay, so somewhere here. And over the bridge. Oh, that's the only place over the bridge. The correct answer is indeed A. Next.
And finally, the shop. It's actually inside one of the towers, but the way in is from the outside. Just take the first left after the main entrance, go down the path and take the first right. It's got some lovely gifts and souvenirs.
And finally, the shop. It's actually inside one of the towers. So we see two towers, this one and this one. Just take the first left after the main entrance, so main entrance, first left, and go down the path and take the first right. So here it is. The answer is E. Okay, we've solved this task together. How easy was it to understand the audio? If you feel that it's difficult to understand the recording, but then you see the transcript and everything is clear, this means that you need to listen to English speech more. And one way is to listen to audiobooks, because you can do that while commuting to work or studies or doing some domestic chores. And if you're not on Audible, I clearly am, you can get any book for free as part of a free trial. I'll leave a link to claim your book in the description. Just remember that if you don't want to continue paying for your subscription, you must cancel it within 1 month, and you can still keep your first book. Now, try another task on your own, and then I'll show you the answers. Be careful, this task has some tricks designed to mislead you. You have 15 seconds to read the task before the recording begins.
So next on the agenda is proposals for improvements to the recreation ground. Councillor Thornton again.
Well, since we managed to extend the recreation ground, we've spent some time talking to local people about how it could be made a more attractive and useful space. If you have a look at the map up on the screen, you can see the river up in the north and the community hall near the entrance from the road. At present, cars can park between the community hall and that line of trees to the east, but this is quite dangerous for pedestrians, so we're suggesting a new car park on the opposite side of the community hall, right next to it. We also have a new location for the cricket pitch. As we've now purchased additional space to the east of the recreation ground, beyond the trees, we plan to move it away from its current location, which is rather near the road, into this new area beyond the line of trees. This means there's less danger of stray balls hitting cars or pedestrians. We've got plans for a children's playground, which will be accessible by a footpath from the community hall and will be alongside the river. We'd originally thought of having it close to the road, but we think this will be a more attractive location. The skateboard ramp is very popular with both younger and older children. We had considered moving this up towards the river, but in the end we decided to have it in the southeast corner near the road. The pavilion is very well used at present by both football players and cricketers. It will stay where it is now, to the left of the line of trees and near to the river, handy for both the football and cricket pitches. And finally, we'll be getting a new notice board for local information, and that will be directly on people's right as they go from the road into the recreation ground.
How did it go? Let's have a look at the answers, but let me show you something first. Have a look at these questions. Number 15, new car park. Number 16, new cricket pitch. So this word new tells me that probably we're going to hear about the current or old locations too, but we need the new locations. Okay, the first question. At present, cars can park between the community hall and that line of trees to the east. So that's the community hall and that's the line of trees, and they park in between. But that's the current location, which is quite dangerous for pedestrians, so that's not the correct answer. So we're suggesting a new car park on the opposite side of the community hall. So that's it. The answer is C. Now, question number 16. New cricket pitch. We also have a new location for the cricket pitch, as we've now purchased additional space to the east of the recreational ground, so that's east. Beyond the trees, we plan to move it away from the current location, which is rather near the road. So you see, near the road is the current location, but we need the new location. So they're moving it into this new area beyond the trees. So that's it. That's the new cricket pitch. The answer is F. Number 17, children's playground. So we've got plans for a children's playground, which will be accessible by a footpath from the community hall. So we see the legend, so that's the footpath, so that's it. And so it should be somewhere on the footpath, and it will be alongside the river. So that's the river, and that's the playground. So this option is not correct, because it's not accessible by the footpath. The answer is A. Next, the skateboard ramp is very popular with both younger and older children. We had considered moving it up towards the river. So up towards the river, they had considered that. But in the end, we decided to have it in the southeast corner near the road. So southeast. So it's here. This is the corner near the road. And this is our ramp. The answer is I. Next, The pavilion is very well used at present and so on. It will stay where it is now, to the left of the line of trees, to the left, and near the river. So here it is. The answer is E. And the last question. We'll be getting a new notice board that will be directly on people's right as they go from the road. So from the road, they go into the recreation ground, and it's gonna be on their right. That's it. The answer is H. So today we had 5 questions in the first map and 6 in the second. How many of them could you answer correctly? Tell me in the comments and let's see if the second task was more difficult for you as I thought. If you've seen my previous video about maps, you might remember that in it I showed you a different type of maps, an easier one. As far as I know, today all tasks are similar to those you saw today. If you want some extra practice, you can solve the task number 2 from the previous video. It begins at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'll link the video in a second. Another challenging type of task in IELTS listening is multiple choice questions. So I'm linking both videos right here. And if you'd like to get your free book on Audible, the link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam. Bye!